Hello, everyone, and welcome. Today we visit an iconic place in Colorado, in Golden, Colorado, called Heritage Square. This place has been shut down since June 30th, 2018. Heritage Square has been officially closed for 3 years now, and we've gone back to revisit the site and kind of see what it looks like. This is kind of pictures what it looked like before. Relatively small amusement park compared to other modern parks, but this is definitely one of those that have been standing out for the longest here in Colorado. I think you go around and ask, and there's nobody that you wouldn't find here that does not know what Heritage Square is. Many people saw this place growing up. The park opened in 1957 originally, called Magic Mountain, and it was originally designed by original Disneyland Vice President C.V. Wood Jr. He was hired and one of the first in the team to design. Fortunately, the fame for this park went really short-lived, as this park only originally existed for only 3 years. After it opened in 1957, it was really quick shut down in 1960. So 3 years after its launch, we had a catastrophic failure. I kind of had a chance to go out there and kind of take footage of this really desolate, lone area now. I mean, it's really different. The places that were originally designed here have been gone since the first part of the park, the first 3 years, and then they reconstructed it again, opening up in 1971, and then it was called Heritage Square. Most of the footage here that you can see from the drone is actually just vacant areas. The circles here is where the kids' games used to be, pretty much original carnival games. You know, a lot of them were just the originals that you would find in any theme park today. Of course, they have their little golf area there where you could play mini golf. And it was interesting because when I went about 5 years ago, the Alpine sled, which is one of the most iconic things that we were going to see at that park, were already shut down. And so that's kind of when you saw it, that it was there. It was going to go down. Just nobody really knew what time or when it would go, but it was pretty obvious. This one building here is the only one that I could find that was standing from the old shops they had around the town. They had a bunch of little stores there, and you could go in and buy, little take-home souvenirs, clothing, you name it. They had an ice cream parlor, I believe, kind of a mini restaurant. And this building right here is just a ticket booth. This is where you go in and take your tickets and then buy your bracelets or whatever. And then they have an arcade in this building. So really interesting little areas here. They took everything out. I mean, there's nothing left. I thought I would at least find some tracks from the narrow gauge railroad that this place used to have. That's gone. I didn't find a piece of track at all. So really, it was demolished, and everything moved out of the area immediately. And like I said, it was since the beginning, this park has always had financial problems, and that was ultimately the cause that was given when this place was shut down. So really unfortunate, because this place saw a lot of people grow up from younghood all the way to adulthood. And when we went, there wasn't really that many people there anymore. This building here that we're shooting right now, it used to be a church. It was called like Red Rocks Church, I believe. And I still see cars parked there. I don't know exactly what they're doing there, if any. I do know that church is now moved up and it's closer to Denver. So, but yeah, Sundays this place used to be packed. It was mostly Sunday church people. I don't know if they would go from there to the theme park. I'm not really sure. But yeah, this place has been closed off to visitors. As you can see, the fencing. We'll see in a minute here. We had somebody take a little bike ride out, detour out of the hiking little area that isn't right next to it, and there he goes. Yeah, some people will still go in there and kind of try to get close to see what's left, but obviously there's nothing left. So right now where we're shooting at, this is the platform where you would go to get on the chairlifts that would take you up to the Alpine Slide, and that was probably the best part of this park. Everything else was okay. You know, they had a zip line and stuff like that, but that was it. You know, really the obstacle that everybody loved to go see was the Alpine Slide. And as you can see here, I'm kind of giving you a wide open view here of what the curves will look like when you would come down this slide. Really quite interesting and very fun. I mean, we did it a couple times. My kids were younger at the time, 5 and 3 or 4, and this was the best part of this whole thing. It was a little expensive. I can't really recall how much it was to get a ticket to go up here. I mean, not terribly expensive. If you go to Winter Park, or that's where you're probably paying really expensive for the Alpine Slide. That's probably because it's the only one left, I think, in Colorado. Moving on here, we're going to be crawling up. The drone is right now approximately around 400 feet, but since we are by a mountain and it's an obstacle, I'm going to be climbing up further. I think at the peak I hit 750 to 800 feet on my drone screen, and of course I got some shoots of the bases for the pillars that were used to hold the cable carts, the chairlifts, excuse me, to the top. And that was pretty cool ride to go up. I mean, it didn't actually even look old at all. You consider how old this park was. The chairlift mechanisms were pretty good, maintained. You could tell that they were easily very well maintained. Right now we're probably around 500, 600 feet on elevation, and as you can see, it's a pretty steep drop. So you would pick up pretty good speed. It was pretty fun, I'll tell you what. And you could take 2 people with you if they were little. So you could take kids, and both of you would get in the same cart, little cart, and then you would just zoom down. And obviously they'd give you a little space in between riders. That way you wouldn't crash or rear end somebody down at the bottom. Right now we're hitting about 750 feet now, and we are nearing the top. And this is where you would approach on the chairlift, and the staff would instruct you to hop off the chair, and then they would have a little shed there where they would keep the carts, and they would instruct you to go and then get on a cart and then wait your turn to drop on the slide. Now it's just a concrete base. Man, they took a lot of everything out. They didn't leave a hint of anything, which it's good, I guess. You don't want to leave a big footprint on the environment. So on the left there, I'll show you here in just a minute, there's a mine, an open pit mine, and I'm not really sure if they got precious metals out of there or if it's ballast, rock, granite, whatever. And then to here where I'm shooting, to the right of the place, there's a trail that you could climb up. And funny story, me and the wife and kids went up this climb one day, and we didn't make it to the top. I know, we're lame, but it was tough. It's a very steep climb and way out of shape at the time. So yeah, I failed that one. I had little kids walking next to me looking at me like, are you serious? But yeah, I had to turn around. So I think I'm gonna get closer to show you guys the mine, and I'll do a separate video on that. This is just kind of want to focus on Heritage Square. You know, the great view on top of where we would get off where the slide was really beautiful, as you just saw. You're on top overlooking out to Golden, Colorado, of course. When this park shut down, a lot of it was blamed on financial, like I said, and the story about this place is it's always had financial issues. So you always wonder, is it leadership, or was it really just a park, you know, destined to fail? That seemed to be the history of it. And this is the pit, the open pit mine. It's really cool. I'm gonna look into how I can get some more permits to kind of go in there and check it out, see what it's all about. I think it'd be a pretty cool experience to go in there and get the drone under there and see what it looks like. I don't know if they're actively working on the open pit. I think they're more towards out there where the machines are moving. I don't know. I'll look into it, and then I'll be probably posting a video on that here soon. I'm going to take the drone down to kind of give you a view of what you would kind of see towards the bottom there. Like I said, 750 feet, 800 feet right now. Awesome. That's probably the highest I've taken my drone, by the way, since I've gotten it. But you know, I did it to avoid an obstacle, so let that be clear before anybody says you can't go over 400. If you're out by an obstacle 400 feet around, you can go 400 on top of the obstacle. So yeah, this is pretty much it. We're nearing the end of the footage here. Real quick, I want to touch up on the railroad that this little place had. And of course, it's a narrow gauge. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was called the Rio Golden Railroad. It ran on narrow gauge, and it circled the entire complex, which is not much. It's about a mile round trip, maybe. I don't know, even less, I think. But you know, for kids, it was a great little experience. You know, they had little carts that would hook onto the engine, and they all ran on rail, steel wheels and everything, metal wheels. It was freaking cool. I mean, but you know, you get bored right away. It's a park that you go once in a while, and then you enjoy it, you do your thing, and then you wouldn't want to go back to it immediately because you did everything. There wasn't really that much to do. They had a zip line that would go across the lake there from right to left, and the train would run around where that green fencing is on the lower part of your screen. That's where the railroad kind of ran, and it would give you a quick little turn. It would take 5-7 minutes to get you around. It wasn't going even that fast either. So, and yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I mean, it's a pretty cool little park. It has a lot of history. It had a lot of history. It's over with now. But by the way, beautiful town here in Golden, by the mountains here. Gorgeous views, terrific place. It was the place to take the family. So big shout out to everybody in Colorado. This is my hometown, and I will be recording more videos around parks in Colorado. If you have any suggestions, please let me know. Give me a like and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be more than happy to take a look at them and see what I can do to get some footage. Never before seen footage of places inquired. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you very much, and you guys have a nice day.